Hey, welcome to Historical Reasons. Oregon Trail wagon accident, 1890s. The Oregon Trail was a major route used by pioneers in the 1800s. Accidents, like overturned wagons, were common due to rough terrain and weather. These tragic events often led to injuries or even death, especially for children and women. Cordelia Cordy Bell Curbo, 1890s. Cordelia Bell Curbo, an 18-year-old woman from the southern US, moved to New Mexico seeking new opportunities. She was photographed with a man in a New Mexico establishment, symbolizing the young women's journey westward during the era. Kansas settler family 1878. Pioneers like this Kansas family faced harsh conditions as they built their homes in the Midwest. Their log cabin represents the resilience required to survive on the Great Plains in the late 1800s. Ladies of the Night in Denver, 1890s, a glimpse into Denver's brothels, showing women who worked as prostitutes during the late 1800s. This often hidden side of the Old West played a significant role in shaping the towns of the frontier. Holliday, 1881. Holliday, known for his skills as a dentist and gunslinger, became a famous figure of the Wild West. His involvement in the gunfight at the OK Corral with Wyatt Earp made him a legend. Stagecoach in Downeyville, California, 1890s. Stagecoaches played an essential role in transporting goods and people. In the Old West, this scene from Downeyville shows the hustle of the town as a stagecoach arrives, carrying supplies to remote areas. San Francisco brothel, 1905, during the Gold Rush era. San Francisco's Barbary Coast became infamous for its brothels. Young women worked in these establishments, offering a glimpse into the vice and entertainment of the time. Prospector in Yerington, Nevada, 1890. A prospector poses with his wagon in downtown Yerington, Nevada, representing the quest for gold and fortune during the mining boom of the 19th century. Many settlers risked their lives for the chance to strike it rich. Pistol Pete, Eaton, 1890s. Frank Boardman, Pistol Pete. Eaton earned his nickname for his unmatched speed and accuracy with a revolver. At just 15 years old, he became a legendary figure in law enforcement and gunfighting. Bell Brazing, 1898. Bell Brazing was a brothel owner in the late 1800s who catered only to high-ranking military officers. Her reputation and strict rules made her one of the more prominent women in the Old West's vice industry. Pioneer family in Kansas, 1875. A family of pioneers poses in front of their sod house, a common structure on the Great Plains in the mid-1800s. These homes were built from earth and grass, offering shelter in the harsh conditions of the frontier. Dan Bogan, gunslinger, 19th century. Dan Bogan, known for his fierce temper and gunfighting skills, left his mark on the Old West. He was often described as one of the most underrated gunmen. Despite his fierce reputation, saloon in Eureka, California, 1915. Saloon culture was a central part of Old West life. In Eureka, California, this saloon was more than just a drinking spot. It served as a social hub where men gathered to talk business, relax, and gamble. Butcher shop in Marysville, Montana, 1889. This image from a butcher shop in Montana highlights the importance of local stores in Old West towns. Butcher shops were often family-owned businesses that provided essential goods like meat to miners and settlers. Lady of the Night in Dodge City, Kansas, 1900. Dodge City, known as the Queen of the Cowtowns, was filled with saloons and brothels. This image gives a glimpse into the lives of women who worked in these establishments, often as prostitutes. Lakota Camp at Pine Ridge, 1891. After the tragic Wounded Knee Massacre, This image shows a Lakota camp in South Dakota. It marks a significant period in Native American history, as the tribe faced violent suppression and displacement. California Cowboys, 1898. A group of cowboys gathers around a chuck wagon in California, reflecting the traditional cowboy lifestyle. These men were essential in managing cattle on ranches, representing the spirit of the Old West. Miners and their dog in Colorado, 1890. To miners relax with their dog at their cabin in Colorado. The mining boom in Colorado attracted many who sought to strike it rich. And these men represent the hardship and adventure of life in the mountains. Locomotive in Arizona and New Mexico Railway, 1900. The Arizona and New Mexico Railway helped connect mining towns in the Southwest. This image captures the era when railroads were expanding, making it easier to transport goods and people across the frontier. Deadwood, Dakota Territory, 1877. Deadwood, South Dakota, was a booming town during the Gold Rush. This bustling town became infamous for its lawlessness and wild nature, especially with characters like Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane. Laura Bullion, 1893. Laura Bullion, a member of Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch, was involved in robberies and served as a lady of the night. Her involvement in criminal activities made her a notorious figure in Old West history. Chrisman Grocery, Colorado, 1890. Chrisman Grocery was an essential business in a small Colorado town. It provided food and goods to miners and settlers, symbolizing the importance of small, community-focused businesses on the frontier. Rosita, Colorado, 1870. A man stands proudly in front of his cabin in Rosita, Colorado, during the early years of settlement. This rural location became home to miners who hoped to strike gold or silver in the mountains. Camp Apache Camp Apache, Arizona, 1873. The Coyotero Apaches, known for their resistance against U.S. expansion, are photographed with their agent in Arizona. Their presence at Camp Apache in 1873 reflects the turbulent relationship between Native Americans and settlers during this period. Miner's Cabin in Goldfield, Colorado, 1900. This photo shows a family living in a miner's cabin in Goldfield, Colorado, a town that was a hotspot during the mining boom. The hardships of frontier life are visible in the simplicity of their home and the rugged surroundings. Fort Wingate soldiers and Scout 1900 soldiers and a scout posed together after a successful hunt near the Zuni farming village. This moment captures the role of military outposts in the American West, providing security and helping to manage the frontier's challenges. Ruby Gulch Mine Family, Novocentis. Family stands at the entrance of a mine in Ruby Gulch, Montana, showcasing the tight-knit community is formed around mining operations. Life in such remote locations was hard but offered opportunities for those seeking wealth. 6th Cavalry Scouts, 1886. A group of scouts, including Apache warriors, stand proudly at the Emery Spring Camp in Arizona Territory. This photograph highlights the interaction between the U.S. Army and Native American tribes, particularly those involved in the Apache Wars, or mill workers in Mercure, Utah. 1905. Workers at an ore mill in Mercure, Utah, gather for a photo, demonstrating the collective effort behind the mining industry. These mills were essential in extracting valuable metals, which fueled the economy of the Old West. Water transport at Fort Verde, Arizona, 1887. In this photograph, workers transport water using mules at Fort Verde, a military post in Arizona. Water was an essential resource in the desert, especially in remote fortifications during the late 1800s. Fort Keeper, Montana, 1889. Soldiers gather in front of the Pony Traders store at Fort Keogh, a vital military outpost in Montana. This fort played a key role in managing the frontier and ensuring the safety of settlers during the Indian Wars. Buffalo hunters in Texas, 1886. Buffalo hunters stand proudly with their catch in Texas, capturing a moment from a critical period when hunting nearly wiped out the buffalo population. These hunters supplied hides and meat to settlers, but their actions led to a dramatic decline in buffalo numbers. Tombstone, Arizona, 1880. A scene from Tombstone, Arizona, shows daily life in the notorious Old West town. Known for its lawlessness, Tombstone was home to infamous figures like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, making it an iconic symbol of frontier life. Kid Curry, early 1900s. Kid Curry, a notorious figure of the Old West, was a feared cattle rustler and member of the Butch Cassidy gang. His violent reputation and criminal activities left a lasting impact on the history of the frontier. Wagon rescue in Colorado, 1900s. Farmers struggled to rescue a wagon stuck in a ravine in Colorado. This image reflects the daily hardships faced by settlers who had to battle nature and unforeseen accidents on their way to the frontier. California variety store. Tombstone, 1880. A bustling variety store in Tombstone, Arizona, caters to miners, settlers, and travelers during the town's gold rush days. This store was a key part of the local economy, offering everything from food to tools and clothing. Victorian women on Mount Washington, New Hampshire, 1870. A photograph of Victorian women posing on Mount Washington, New Hampshire, dressed in their finest clothing. The image contrasts the elegance of the time with the harsh environments of the frontier, showcasing the resilience of women in the Old West. Stagecoaches at Grand Central Hotel, Bodie, 1880. This vibrant scene from Bodie, California, shows stagecoaches filled with passengers arriving at the Grand Central Hotel. Bodie was a bustling mining town during the gold rush, and the hotel was a central gathering point for travelers. Lumber hauling in Lucky Boy, Nevada, 1910. Menhaul lumber on a mule-pulled wagon in Lucky Boy, Nevada, a town known for its mining and logging industries. This image reflects the importance of timber and the labor required to transport goods in the rugged terrain of the West. Thanks for watching this historic video.